Ba-da-ba-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! That was great.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drew inspiration from Josh, who has sadly decided to ditch us today.
He's spending family time with family. And I guess we're not family, is basically what I'm understanding from the situation. But listen, I get it. Priorities. It is what it is. Thank God at least the two best hosts are here for today's episode.
I'm so scared to miss another episode. Okay. Today is our Week 10 waivers/streamers episode where we recommend the best players to pick up for the next few weeks. Well, this week, next week, and also depending on who it is, maybe it could be a really good season-long hold. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us 5 stars if you like what you hear. Subscribe on YouTube. We are on YouTube now. We love YouTube. Do you love YouTube? If you do, give us a like on this video. Okay. And all of the socials are in the link tree in the podcast description. Be sure to check out the Discord where we have the Banger Management family that Josh has decided not to be a part of for this next hour or so.
It's very disappointing, but listen, we move on. Fantasy moves on, and he's in a better place. So
he's very much alive. Just to be clear,
I didn't not say that. But yeah, no, I know we give the spiel every time in the beginning, but listen, guys, it's like 60-70% of you guys that are listening to this right now are not currently following the podcast. So what are you doing? I know you want to listen to all the episodes, so just hit that follow button so that every time the new episode comes out, it'll tell you. And then win-win. And yeah. So what, do we get into our Week 9 choices?
Yes, these are our Week 9 top 3 choices. So we had an L, spoiler alert, but we had 2 pretty nice W's. Yes. So our loss from this last week was Zach Bolduc. 3 games played, 0 points. Sad. He was poised to do well.
Listen, we followed the process. Listen, he got bumped up. Line 1, PP1, was playing 50 minutes a night, had got 5 points in 2 games, and it was like, okay, all systems go. And then literally we recommended him for the stream on a 4-game week, and like it took, I think, a game and a half for him to just like completely fall off. And he had a game where he played like less than 10 minutes. It's honestly just like, I feel really bad recommending him, but listen, if you follow the process, nothing is absolute. Things like this are going to happen. So this just happened to be a pretty bad one. So hoping to make some better recommendations this upcoming week. But if you picked up the other guys, we got Darren Radish.
Yep. 3 games played, 5 assists. Awesome.
Guy's a monster.
Amazing pickup. Yeah, his minutes have been crazy too. With Hedman coming back, it's a question mark, but that was definitely a great pick for last week. And Anton Lundell, in 2 games played since then, he's had 1 assist, and that was a shorthanded point. He was bumped off power play 1, and that is a W from last week. It's going to be weird to see what they're going to do with the power play. But he's been really decent all year, and if you streamed him last week, you're quite happy. Was it a good pickup record so far this season? We are 16-5. Pretty darn good.
Yeah, and looking to make more strides this upcoming week. So do you want to get into the games?
Yeah. For the upcoming week, we have 2 teams playing 2 games. There's the New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals. Capitals have been on fire, so it's going to be kind of tough. But anyways, then a bunch of 4-game teams. We're going to get into that. The busy nights, as per usual, are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And there are off-night teams as well. Buffalo, Calgary, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles Kings, Minnesota, Seattle, Utah, Vancouver. We're going to talk about those guys mainly. Give us a little preface before we dive into our top 10 points, guys.
Yeah. So just a small preface. I feel like if people are only listening to recent episodes, they have no idea what preface means, but we're just prefacing, so giving a little bit of a little memo out there before we get into the bulk of the streamers for this week. But I just wanted to put it out there that, listen, the guys that we're covering on this episode are less than 40% owned. So we're going a little bit deeper into, like, if you're in the 12-team league, these are usually guys that are going to be relevant. And some guys that we're recommending are 5%, 10% owned. So more of your deeper cuts so we can, cover all our bases. But if you're in a 10-team league, I feel there's most likely options on your waiver wire that are going to be better streams than the guys that we're recommending today, just because we're trying to go a little bit more niche and a little bit deeper. But yeah, I just wanted to put it out there. Like, if a Zach Bolduc is on your waiver wire, but you can pick up like a William Eklund or other guys that are like, Jason Zucker or something. And I just want to put it out there that if you're in a shallow enough league, make sure you look at your waivers, and there's might be guys that are better than the guys we're recommending. But keep in mind that these guys, 12 leagues deeper, these are going to be relevant names for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, there are, guys hovering around like the 60% range. You got like a Sam Bennett. He could be available in some 10-team leagues. He's been pretty good recently. So, other Tyler Bertuzzi, 64%. He's also been on fire, and Chicago's got 2 off nights this week. So stuff like that. We're not going to talk about them because that's not really relevant in deeper leagues. But keep an eye out on that if you are in a more shallow league, as Kevin said.
Yep.
Let's get into our top 10 points, guys.
Yep. So these are guys that mostly you're streaming for points, and some of them have some good bangers. So let's get into number 10.
Of the Buffalo Sabres, line 3, but power play 1 on a power play 1 that's been pretty strong lately. We have Josh Doan, son of Shane Doan.
Small world.
I'm not going to do that for every player. What is person's dad's name? So yeah, Josh Doan, 4 games this upcoming week, 3 the week after. He's been averaging around 15 minutes of ice time. Pretty great shots on goal, I will say, and I mean, his power play points have been awesome, so yeah, I like it.
Yeah, you would hope for a better 5v5 deployment, but the fact that he's on PP1 is the main reason why he's on this list. Ever since Josh Norris came back, the power play has been clicking a lot more, and we thought that maybe Benson would keep the spot ahead of Josh Doan, but it seems like Josh Doan has got that spot secured right now. So as long as that sticks, he's a viable streamer this upcoming week. They got 4 games, so 4 games of a guy on PP1 that is starting to click. Good option.
Yep. Next, we have Sean.
Whoa. At number 9, son of Sean Doan. Shane Doan.
Okay,
John Monahan.
A lot happened.
Yes.
A lot just
much happened.
A lot just happened. Okay.
Every time it's just a
Columbus
two of us, always skip over my little...
I know. I'm not used to it. Okay. Sean Monahan of the CBJ Columbus Blue Jackets, line 2, power play 1, 0.6 points per game. He's been look, I mean, I think Fantilli is kind of the main offensive guy there, but 3 games this week, 3 games the next one, and especially in a face-offs league, you could do worse.
Yeah. You're not this is not a pickup that is necessarily optimizing for games played, but like Sean Monahan, we thought his value was cooked after Fantilli took that PP1 spot and that line 1 spot. I mean, they're both on power play 1, which is great, and which is why Sean Monahan still has the value that he does. But he's still honestly a good player, and that top line is getting the tougher matchups. He's playing on that second line, and listen, he just had a game where he got 3 assists, so we know he's still in this bag that he can produce offensively. If you want to prioritize players with better schedules, I understand it, but I just want to put it out there that for pure C's, you're getting a guy that's on a high flying offense. Their power play is starting to get better. He's playing close to 20 minutes a night. Like, there's definitely worse people you can stream, and I think he has a lot of categories, and especially in face-off leagues, if you're in a banger league that has those, like, he's one of the better options.
Yeah, this next player has been crazy good this year. I will get into it very shortly, but at
number 8. Son of Shane Doan.
No, okay, Shane Doan. Okay. Disclaimer, he's actually not all these players' fathers, only Josh Doan. Anyway, of the Boston Bruins, we have line 1, power play 1, Elias Lindholm, who is just insane this year, especially for face-off leagues. If you are in a face-off league, he should actually be rostered already, but he's only rostered in 28% of leagues. 3 games this week, 4 the next week. He's at 0.84 points per game on the season, but over the last, basically since he's become healthy, it was 6 games ago at the time of this recording, 1.17 points per game. So that's just insane. His power play points at 0.33. I love it. And Pasternak, he's been dealing with a bit of an injury. now, but when he's back, I mean, he's gonna be playing with Lindholm in all likelihood. Bless you. And all this to say, I think that this is a fantastic pickup for this week, and in a face-offs league, like it's nearing long-term hold.
Yeah, I mean the main thing with Lindholm though is that if you look at his averages, so he missed some time, so the averages are kind of skewed, and the power play was just so insane to start the year. It felt like almost all his production was power play points, which not sustainable. Um, yeah, only 3 games this week, so it's kind of like Monahan that we just recommended. But Boston has actually been scoring a lot of goals, despite the fact that Pasternak is currently not healthy. So in week 10, we're looking for Pasternak to be back in the lineup. I mean, listen, even though Pasternak's gone, it looks like Steves has taken that spot and has been insane in his absence. So, and he's still playing with the GOAT Morgan Geeky, so it feels like nothing can go wrong for Elias Lindholm. He's surrounded by guys that score a lot of goals. His category coverage is kind of sneaky. Like he'll get you some hits, some blocks, some shots. Like Jakey said, elite for faceoff wins. But you're streaming a guy that's on the 5th best power play in the league right now. If that continues, he's going to be an option for your fantasy leagues every week, especially in deeper leagues. I think he's on waivers a lot because he was injured and people had to have to drop him to make room. So now's the opportunity to strike and stream him in this upcoming week.
Yeah, totally agree there. Okay, love this one too. At
number 7,
we've got Jason Zucker of the Buffalo Sabres. Line 2, power play 1, absolutely on fire as of late. His whole season's good. He's got 0.79 points per game. His power play points are 0.32, which is ridiculous. Like, ever since he came back from injury, the Buffalo Sabres have had a better power play. And, as of late, his production has been 0.86 points per game over the last 2 weeks. It's really, really, like, he's on fire. And I really think that you're going to be very happy with his 4 games this week. So he's a great choice. Only 10% owned somehow. But this is one of those things that we gave the little I was going to say
Proface.
Sorry, Proface earlier about how even in deeper leagues, like, you can do better. Look at the higher rostered guys, but I think that of the low rostered names outside of our top 3 this week, like, I like it. I really do like it as a pickup. I'm not going to say he's going to absolutely perform the way he's been performing. There's some risk there, but considering the 4-game week, I really, really do like this.
Yeah, I agree. He's in my head, he's higher on this list just because I feel like I have a bias towards him since I had him on my roster last season, and he's one of those guys that it's not flashy, but he gets the job done for your team. We play in a deep league where our league of record is, you're starting like 20 guys every night, so you don't really have to make start-sit decisions. You're just starting everybody on your team, and he's part of that group that, he might be one of the lower guys on your team, but 4 games this upcoming week, he shoots, he scores, and he's on one of the better power plays right now. Like, I keep saying one of the better power plays on the season. They're 21st, but ever since Josh Norris came back, it's been 3 games and they've scored every single game on the power play. So, some positive regression there. And I think Zucker is one of those names that he's going to be staple to that PP1. Like, no matter what his deployment is 5v5, whether it's line 1, line 2, or line 3, he's going to be PP1, and that's where most of his value comes from. And he's good at scoring those greasy goals. So I like Jason Zucker a lot. He's only left-wing eligible, so you have to make sure you can fit him in your lineup this upcoming week. But 4 games, I think it's a great pick.
Yeah, and like you said, he's also a bit higher on this list. For face-off wins, there are other guys we're going to mention that, especially the next one, that are really elite. But taking that out of the equation, like, I really think that he's a fantastic choice, and super sneaky, as Kevin mentioned. He can be a much longer term hold than even just this week. But
yeah, depends how deep your league is.
Yeah, but with the 4, yeah, exactly. Like in an 8-team and 10-team league, probably not. But for the stream, 4 games, love it. Let's get to the next one.
All right, at number 6,
we have, of the Nashville Predators, Ryan O'Reilly. Also been insane lately. This is especially relevant for face-off wins because he's not super great in the backhats. Over the last month, he's only at 1.67 points shots per game, 0 power play points, but still averaging a point per game. So I mean, playing with the surrounding talent, like, they should have a slight uptick in power play points. Philip Forsberg, who was my buy low in week 9 was still, they're not scoring what they at the pace that they should. Like, he's been bad, basically, is what I'm getting at, Forsberg. So O'Reilly's been okay, and I really do like it for this week as well.
Yeah, you just have to know when you're picking up O'Reilly, if you want more category coverage, this is not the guy to pick up. So yeah, we have him number 6 on this list right now, but it's just because if you look at over the last 2 weeks, he's averaging almost 1.2 points per game, over a point per game pace over the last 2 weeks, and no power play points. So he's on line 1, he's on PP1, he's playing all the important minutes for this team. He's also kind of trade bait right now. Like, Nashville is the worst team in the league. All the guys that are, veterans on this team that might necessarily not benefit them right now, but would be more beneficial for contenders, are getting looks right now to potentially be traded. I think Ryan O'Reilly is one of the main names right there. He won't get you shots, he won't get you hits, he won't get you blocks, but he can get you points, and I expect the power play to at least get 1 point this season. This upcoming week where they have 4 games. Hopefully, this rest of the season they get at least 1 more power play point. And I think this is the week that it happens. Like, Nashville, honestly, like, it feels really bad, but there's still some valuable guys on there. And I think O'Reilly, specifically if you're in a points league, is more valuable. And if you're playing in a categories league, like, he's one of the better options that's available under 40% that can at least get you points. So,
yep. Okay, let's get to
number 5.
Nice. We're flowing now. Ever since number 9, things have been boat goes up and big time. The plural of Matthew on Minnesota Wild. We have Mats Zuccarello, line 2, power play 1. He's at .77 points on the season, but that's been with a moderate cold streak as of late. His shots have been really good. He's at 2.67 over the last 2 weeks, which is nice. So I think that we can expect some goals incoming. 10 shots over the last 2 games. So yeah, with 0 points there, I'd expect that to turn around relatively quickly. And yeah, I mean, I really, really like him as for the next 2 weeks especially. He's got 4 games this week, 4 games next week. So this is the type of guy that you pick up and hold for the 2 weeks. 22% owned, so also kind of a deeper play there. But Minnesota has been winning because of their insane goaltending, and I think that that's bound to, regress a little bit just because it's so crazy what Wallstedt and Gustafsson, but Wallstedt is doing. So they should be scoring more, and Zuccarello is going to be a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a team that's high flying right now. And Zuccarello is a guy that, first of all, less than 40% owned, has 4 games this week, has 4 games next week. And he's the type of guy that has a little bit of name pull, where in previous seasons, he's been one of those guys that is at the end of your roster, not a flash name, but produces for your fantasy team. The thing right now is he's not exposed to Kaprizov at 5v5, which, yeah, it's a tick against him, but he's still producing. He's on that power play that's clicking right now. It's going crazy. And one thing to note, his shooting percentage is really low right now. It's at 4%. We expect it to be higher. It's going to be at like 10, 12%, and already that would be doubling what he's currently doing. So he's due for some goals, basically, is what I'm saying. He's exposed to one of the best power plays right now on a team that's winning a lot of games. And also, like, in the back of my mind, what I have is he's playing the important minutes for this team. He's the 6th best forward, if you put it that way. And I'm mentioning that because when a team's winning a lot of games, they're usually playing against teams that are giving them a lot of empty nets at the end of the game too. So that's extra incentive to get points because he's going to be on the ice for those minutes. So just in the back of my mind, it's like a little bit of a tiebreaker there. You could hold him for the next 2 weeks. I think Zuccarello is one of the guys that has the highest upside on this top 10 list.
Yeah, since returning from injury, he's played 12 games and he has 1 goal.
Yep.
So that's like pretty
he's due for
clear.
Some goals. He needs to get like 2 or 3.
Yeah, and his shots, like as mentioned, they've been good. So he's doing all the right things. It's just bound to boat goes up very soon.
Boat goes up.
Yep. Okay, let's get to the next one.
At number 4,
we have Jared McCann of the Seattle Release the Kraken. Okay, his power play points are non-existent this year. Another good sign for things to turn up. Like,
I mean, he was hurt for a long part.
Yes, I know, but still noteworthy that that's like an interesting stat. He hasn't played too much this year. He had a brief stint at the beginning and then got hurt, and now he's been back for a few games. This we've spoken about is probably the best player on Seattle. So I think that this is an awesome pickup, especially because his hits are surprising to the upside. And this is a point section, but you know, it's nice to have that little bonus. 4 games this week, great ice time. And yeah, I really, really like it. And I'm quite surprised he's under 30% owned.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a guy that we talked about in recent podcast episodes. We made some social media content about him as well because he was coming back from injury and people didn't really know what to expect. And when healthy, he is arguably the best forward on the Seattle Kraken, and you're able to stream him on a week where he plays 4 games and is widely available, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. He's basically a double-double right now. He's shooting 2 shots a game at least. He's hitting 2 hits a game, which I don't expect to stay consistent there, but it's a nice bonus right now. And he has the best deployment on his team. He's playing line 1, PP1, so he's exposed to the best players, and he's a guy that can really drive the offense. So his averages right now look a little wonky because he hasn't really played many games this season thus far. But I expect way better days ahead, and this might be the perfect opportunity to like get on the train while the train is about to go up. Get on the boat while the boat's going up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a bad power play all year, and it can definitely, you can attribute that to them missing basically their best player.
They also
Jared
split their
McCann.
power plays because that's really dumb, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's rough for fantasy, but nevertheless, I expect better things from McCann moving forward. Bless you again. Okay, let's get into our top 3 at
number 3.
Sad because I traded this guy away, but gotta stick true to giving the best advice we can. We have, of the Philadelphia Flyers, Owen Tippett, another guy with great shot hit combinations. He is at 0.7 points per game on the season. His power play points are abysmal. Absolutely not McCann abysmal, but it's not great power play points per game. And it's surprising because the team is ranked pretty high. Like they're basically middle of the pack. So he's just kind of missing out on those power play points. Shooting percentage is decent at 14. He's got 4 games this week. Owen Tippett's a great guy to hold on to in banger leagues. I think that this is one of those that I look in an 8-team league that's pretty darn shallow, but in a 10-team league, even like for on a 4-game week, I would pick him up.
Yeah, Owen Tippett is one of those guys that when he's on this list, I'm very interested because, first of all, Philly has 4 games this upcoming week. And Jakey was hinting at this, like their power play is average. It's ranked 17th on the season right now, and he's got basically no power play points. Now, one of the main reasons for that is that Philly is one of those teams that, Rick Tocchet is low-key a fantasy terrorist as well. And he doesn't always put his best players on the PP1. Like, we've had stretches where Konechny's on technically the PP2, and it's just crazy. But as of this recording, the last 2 games or few practices, they've kind of consolidated their power play into one main unit. It's been Konechny, it's been Zegras, it's been Michkov, Tippett, and Sanheim. So the fact that they're putting all their chips into finally one power play, it's like, oh, how about we just put our best players on PP1 and roll that way? Like, it's just like, it feels crazy to think about, but some coaches don't do it. So, but now the fact that they've done that, I expect Tippett to get way more exposure to power play points. So you might be getting in at the perfect time before the boat really takes off and becomes a rocket ship. So sometimes boat goes up, sometimes boat becomes rocket ship. This is one of the situations that could be rocket ship. And if you're in a category bangers leagues, like he's one of those low-key power forwards where he'll be a double-double, he'll shoot, he'll hit, he'll get you points, power play exposure right now. Like I really like Tippett this upcoming week. 4 games, like it just feels like everything is right for this to go really well.
Yeah, I'm loving this this boat turning into a rocket ship thing.
Oh, yeah.
Podcasters by day, scientists by night, or the opposite.
Don't know
But yeah, I mean, Owen Tippett can really contribute to advances in science.
Yes, he can.
Okay, let's get into the next one.
At number 2.
While Barkov is out, I think this guy may be turning into Kevin's literal father this season because he talks about him all the time. Of the Buffalo Sabres, we have Josh Norris, 1.34 points per game on the season. Small sample size because he's had some
4 games.
Issues.
He's played 4 games. He's played 4 games on the season, but his last 3 games in his last 3 games since coming back, he's got 5 points, 3 power play points.
Crazy.
So
crazy. He's like extremely effective. He's now at 35% owned. Before this little stretch over the last week, he was at 14% owned.
Yep.
So he just increased 21 percentage owned. So people are clearly catching on. He's going under the radar, and I think he's super valuable for points, but also the banger cats, especially when you're if you're in a face-offs league, is awesome. So there's so much to like here. I think that obviously he's going to slow down, but with 4 games this week, no offense, sorry, I don't.
Wow.
you look upset at me saying that.
He's not going to score 120 points.
No, seriously, it's that you know what though, I will say, slight tangent here. Cousins for Norris, that trade I feel like is really going to bring out the most of the best in them for their careers.
I think they both needed just a change of scenery, to be honest.
Yeah.
The only thing is Josh Norris, the main question is his health. And that's really one of the reasons why he was 14% owned last week. It's because people drafted him, first of all, late because he was injured a lot last season. Then he gets hurt at literally the last face-off of the first game of the season. So, listen, I held Norris the whole year. I drafted him. He was my 10th round pick in a deep banger category league. So I was pretty hyped. I'm able to get the process is there, right? Line 1, power play 1 on a Buffalo team that was supposed to make some moves this year, playing with Tage Thompson, like he's surrounded by talent, Rasmus Dahlin, and then he got hurt. And that's literally the main question with Josh Norris is his health. The on-ice product has never been a worry for us. But right now, I feel like, listen, he's 35% owned. We might not be able to talk about him in future waiver episodes because he'll be over that 40% cutoff. But this could be a league-changing pickup. If you're in a deeper league and he's still available, I'm trying to scoop up. There's most definitely a guy on your roster you can cut for Josh Norris. I'm not putting a blanket statement out there that there's always a guy you need to have him on your team. But I'm going to say, unless you're in a 10 or 12 team league and your team is pretty stacked, there's most likely a guy that you can cut for Josh Norris because he's going to hit you. He's going to get you with hits. He's going to get you with face-off wins. He's going to get you with shots. And he's a goal scorer.
Yeah.
He can score some goals. The power play is clicking since he's coming back. Like, there's just so many positives with Josh Norris right now. And it's low risk. You pick him up. If he gets hurt again, that's the main question. I'm like, oh, I'm going to pick him up and then he's going to be out for the season or something. Like, listen, I'm not saying that's not in the realm of possibilities. We won't get caught like last time, our first waiver episode, we recommended Josh Norris and he literally got hurt 1 game into the season. So bad luck there. And if that happens, listen, you cut him. But right now, I feel like this is the type of guy that it's like a Adam Fantilli. We said that can really change the dynamic of your team and be a season-altering pickup. Josh Norris is in the same tier as Adam Fantilli, in my opinion. Like, this could be a guy that the talent is there, the deployment is there, the opportunity is there. As long as the health is there, he's gonna be productive. I want him on my fantasy team. I have him on my fantasy team, and I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, like, would you rather own a Josh Norris right now? And I'm gonna go like pretty high ranked here, okay? Like if you have,
like, I really like Josh Norris. I'm hoping I don't. I know give some crazy advice here.
I know you do. Like so try to be as objective as possible. But would you rather own Josh Norris or Timo Meier?
Probably
just that has a
probably Timo because of the new deployment that he has. But if Timo gets bummed out of PP2 when Jack Hughes is back, like, you'll be happier with Josh Norris. The names that I was thinking of is like, I'd rather Josh Norris over Eriksson Ek.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, look, you have someone like a Tyler Bertuzzi,
and I'm thinking 64%. Like banger category leagues. Like, if you're just in a points league, obviously it's more one dimensional. You have to think about it differently. But the thing is, there's not many pure C's that hit the shots, the hits at a high level that also get goals and production. So, like, to me,
Agreed.
I drafted Dylan Cousins and Josh Norris back to back in the 9th and 10th round. I was really happy with that. Yeah,
selection.
I went Logan Cooley, Dylan Cousins, Josh Norris. Like, that was my center depth. We start 4 centers every day. So
another one is like a Mason McTavish.
That's not even a question. I want Josh Norris.
There you go. And Mason McTavish is rostered in 64% of leagues, and he's been good this year. This is not to say, it's not to say drop McTavish or anything like that, but I think like the owned discrepancy in a week or 2 from now, provided that Norris stays healthy, is not going to be this like almost 30% difference.
I'd rather Josh Norris over Dylan Strome.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about that one. That's interesting to me, especially because
Like Strom is probably a safer bet to get more points and maybe more power play points, but you're getting way more shots and hits from Josh Norris, and I think that makes up for the difference in points.
Yeah, so I think that this is it comes with the injury risk, but if healthy, it's an amazing pick, and in a 12+ team league, season long hold.
And if you're listening to this on Sunday morning and Josh Norris got hurt in practice before, like obviously we take we take it back, don't pick him up. But I can't imagine it happens twice in one season to us. So
yeah, exactly. Okay, and then we have
number 1.
Patrick Kane of the Detroit Red Wings. Whoa. This is a crazy thing to talk about in a waiver episode if you've been playing fantasy for a long time, where Patrick Kane was like a top 3 pick in some years. I mean, you know, the truth of the matter is that since he's come back from injury over like the past month or so, he's not been like a top 10 pick or anything, but he's been like a second round pick pedigree. He's been crazy. 3.43 shots, 0.93 points, 0.43 power play points. Like, honestly, it sounds insane to say that this is the type of guy that should have been drafted in the top 5 rounds, because, like, you know, he's old and he hasn't been like his true, like what old school Patrick Kane has been for years. But I mean, this is nuts. This is absolutely crazy. And we know he can do this because he's such an elite pedigree of player. So to me, the fact that he's only rostered in 39% of leagues, like our threshold is 40, so it's really lucky we get to talk about him. But I think that this is the type of guy that can do. I mean, we know this. We know this, how amazing he is. He hasn't been on such a great team, like, you know, for a full season since the elite Chicago years, right? He got traded. He was on New York. And it's tough to go to a new team midseason. But now that he's had, like, you know, an offseason with Detroit, who's been a pretty high-flying offense this year, he's going to be a huge part of that, and I love this. 4 games this upcoming week, 4 games the next. If this continues this pace, he's probably going to be at like 60% owned sooner than later because he's relevant for both bangers and points leagues. So now is a great time to pick him up if you haven't already.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that we're able to talk about him on this episode with how good he's been recently is blasphemy. Let me put it out there. It's blasphemy.
Yeah, there you go. By the time you're listening to this, he may be over 40, by the way.
Yeah,
so.
But either way, like, go check your waiver wire. If he's available, like, there's guys that are 60% owned that I'd rather have Patrick Kane. I mean, listen, let me go over all of it. Last season on the season, he was at 0.82 points per game, 0.4 power play points, and 2.4 shots. I'm not talking about the face-off hits and blocks because you're not going to get any of those. But 2.4 shots for a guy that's, you know, producing on the power play like that is great. Now, this season, he's averaging 3 shots, 0.95 points, 0.4 power play points. Over the last 2 weeks, he's at 1.3 points per game. The last 2 weeks, that's still a decent sample size. It just goes to show that, like, I'm telling you, he's been hot. He's shooting. The power play is great. They have the 7th ranked power play. Last season, they were top 5. Like, this is a power play, I think, at this point that we can have confidence in that it's actually good, and the players on this in the system, it works well. They have 4 games this week, 4 games next week. I picked him up in a league that I was shocked he was available, and I've held him, and I've been super happy. So he's the type of guy that is going to stay on your roster the whole season, I feel like, because first of all, the power play exposure is incredible. The points threshold is high. I'm not saying he's going to finish with a point per game, but could he end with 0.9? That's very realistic, honestly, for the way he's producing right now. And his shooting percentage is only 7% right now, so you know that he's going to get more goals in the near future. I think, honestly, there's like, you can't go wrong with this pickup. I'd be shocked. And even if, let's say I recommend Patrick Kane to you, 4 games, he gets you like 1 point. Somehow he ends up with no points this upcoming week. It's going to be an L. You're not going to be happy with the pickup, but I'm still going to keep Patrick Kane on my roster for the upcoming weeks, because I just think that he's set up for so much success that even if, you know, bad weeks happen, I'm still confident that I want him on my team for the long term. So if he's available, I really want to pick him up.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great opportunity to turn your team around with picking him up. He should not be this widely available, so really this is a great choice. So the top 3, you know, was it a good pickup choices for this week? Owen Tippett, Josh Norris, Patrick Kane. Really love it. And
I want to ask you, after the top 3, we just listed, you know, Tippett, Norris, Kane are our main guys. Like, they all have 4 games this week. Want you to pick them up. Who's your favorite guy outside of that top 3 that you would like to pick up for your fantasy team?
Jason Zucker.
Are you biased because he's on your team right now?
Probably I'm noticing it because he's on my team. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, as much as we like to analyze the league and make sure we're on top of everything, like you pay more attention to your team. It just the way it is.
That's normal.
But realistically, why I'm choosing that is firstly the 4 games this week, 3 next week, but still 4 this week is awesome. Matt Zuccarello would probably
That's my
be
choice.
my other choice. Even though I do love Jared McCann, I think that like longevity between Jared McCann, Zuccarello, and Zucker, I'd probably want that. But like we're talking the next.
We're splitting
weeks.
feathers here.
Yeah, exactly. But Jason Zucker has just been like so good, and with Norris back, if he stays healthy, like that whole Buffalo power play is just good, and they're gonna be good. So I really, really like it. And he's the most low key name, and he's owned in the least amount of leagues. So.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
exciting
exciting week ahead.
Yeah, very, very exciting. Okay, let's do our top 5 bangers.
Yeah.
So, of the Pittsburgh Penguins at number 5, we have Legally Blonde Reese Witherspoon. That's a joke. We have Parker Wotherspoon, son of Shane Doan. Absolute nonsense. Okay, he's had 1 shot, 2 hits, and 1.5 blocks per game this season. Decent numbers. Playing good minutes though. He's got the top minutes of anybody on this list at 21 minutes a night. The main thing here though, 4 games this week, 4 games next week for Pittsburgh. So if you need to bolster your peripheral banger categories, this is a great choice.
Yeah, he is the type of guy that I feel like just came out of nowhere. Like at the start of the season, he was not on my radar, and suddenly I'm looking at who's available on waivers and everything. And listen, he's only 5% owned right now, and he's basically doing Connor Clifton numbers, who we always hope is healthy or playing in the lineup, because when he plays, he's a banger beast, but he's scratched every other game. But Wotherspoon over the last 2 weeks, he's almost 4 hits a game, 1.7 blocks a game. So you're getting exposure to those 2 banger categories. He'll throw in a shot here and there. Like, you can't go wrong. He's got 4 games this week, 4 games next week, so you can plan ahead in terms of like getting your banger league exposure there. He's a great option.
Yeah, it's a great choice. Next, at number 4 of the New Jersey Devils, we have Brendan Dillon, who's been a kind of like a mainstay on this list. 2.48 hits, 1.59 blocks.
Yeah, he's not really a shots guy. And I honestly, personally, I would prefer Wotherspoon over Dillon for this upcoming week. I just feel like the hits have a higher threshold. Like if you look at over the season, Dillon has been hitting more, but as of late, Wotherspoon has been hitting more. The blocks are basically identical. Wotherspoon has the extra game in the week 11, so I would prefer that. But honestly, like you can't go wrong with these 2 guys.
Yeah, pretty much splitting feathers, as we like to say, between the 2. Okay, number 3, Radko Gudas of the Anaheim Ducks. Honestly, I mean, you said this last week. It's pretty crazy to have to recommend him in a bangers league.
Yeah.
We're doing this based on percentages. He's under 40% owned, but 3.63 hits, 2 blocks a game, crazy low minutes, 16. Like he's on a mission every time he's on the ice. With 3 games this week and 4 next week, if you haven't picked him up in a bangers league yet, now is the time. He has a lot of opportunity over the next 2 weeks to really bolster your peripheral categories. So this is a good time to do it.
Not much to say, guys. It's Radko Gudas. He's only 27% owned, so we have to mention him. Like if you're in a serious banger league, he's most likely rostered. But if you're in a banger league category specifically, and you look at your waivers and he's there somehow, like his minutes have not necessarily been there. He's only got three games this week, but this is the type of guy that you add because you want to have that banger position solidified on your roster for like the foreseeable future, and you could pick him up this week and just hold him. And that's the goal here. One of the best one of the best hits, blocks guys, and he also, out of all the guys that we're recommending today, he shoots the most. Not saying it's a lot, but he shoots the most.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's not irrelevant. I mean, 1.63 shots per game, like that's something. That's something, especially with the banger categories. What a fantasy asset for banger
shoots more
leagues.
than Elias Lindholm. So
yeah, that's true. Wow. It's a good way to put it. Okay, then next from the Utah Mammoth, we have Jack McBain, only forward on this list, so nice to include a forward over here. 1.32 shots, so still less than Radko Gudas, but 3.04 hits, which is awesome. The blocks for a forward at 0.82 is not irrelevant at all. 4 games this week, 4 games next week. Josh said the other day, jokingly, because he has 4 of the best players in the league on his team, but he was like, Jack McBain is the best player on my team. So in deep banger leagues, especially, like he can do a lot of good things, and his faceoffs are pretty decent too. 6.5 over the last 2 weeks, not nothing, and his points are 0.63 over the last 2 weeks. So I would not expect the points at all, but for banger leagues with faceoffs, it's a pretty decent player to roster.
Yeah, the faceoffs honestly are an extra bonus. He's center left wing eligible, so if you want to get your banger stats this upcoming week from a forward position, like there's literally nobody better than Jack McBain. He's honestly like been contributing in points too. Like as we record this, he's got 3 points in his last 2 games. Not relying on that, but 4 games this upcoming week, 4 games the week after, and there might not be a better forward that's gonna get you faceoffs, hits, and blocks. Like it's actually crazy what he's been doing recently. I love this pick. I'm really sad that Josh has him because Josh traded all his guys to get like the 4 best players in the league, almost. So he's getting so much points production there, and he can just pick up a Jack McBain to make up for all the category coverage he lost. So pretty unfair if you ask me. But alas, Josh is not here to defend himself. Josh, I hate you. I'm kidding. But yeah, okay, let's get into number 1.
Yeah, number 1 is a favorite of the Montreal Canadiens camera crew and Josh's wife. We have Ben Sherratt of the Detroit Red Wings, who's been an absolute monster for Kevin over the past week. 2.36 hits. Good point. I stand corrected. 2 weeks. 2.36 hits, 2.29 blocks. This is wild, and I feel like that's on the season. Over the past 2 weeks he's been even better. He's had a few games with points too, which is not a thing that's gonna stay, but really, really nice cherry on top to the insane production. I mean, like, just crazy. 2 shots over the past 2 weeks, 2.57 hits, 3 blocks, the PIMS too. Like, I mean, I think he's gonna obviously regress, but at 23% owned on Yahoo, really, like, this is for 4 games this week, 4 games next week, an awesome pickup.
Yep. He's one of the best defensemen out there for banger leagues that is balanced in hits and blocks. Because usually what you'll have is you'll have one guy that's like, he'll get you like 4 hits, but like 1 block type of thing. Whereas he'll get you the blocks, which are a little more rare this season in terms of like having guys that are actually useful on your team be good at blocks and other stuff. And he's getting you close to 3 hits a game. Ben Sherratt, listen, I got him in a traded a throw-in 2 weeks ago. It was a throw-in for the other manager, but I kind of knew what I was doing. And so now I have Ben Sherratt on my team and pretty happy with it. He's going to be on my team for the foreseeable future. Detroit's got 4 games in week 10, 4 games in week 11. So you're not worried about that. You know you're optimizing the schedule. I think he's a phenomenal defenseman. I drafted Alexander Romanov in like round 12, hoping that I would get this kind of production. That was a disappointment. Then he got hurt out for the season. So the fact that I was able to just make a straight swap with Ben Sherratt and kind of like get what I'm looking for was kind of lucky. But nonetheless, really happy about it. I put him in. He's getting close to that tier of like the Gudis, the Lauzons, the guys that are just always good at bangers.
Yeah. He's really good, and he has like the shots are not horrible as the last 2 weeks too.
Yeah.
So I really like it. Detroit's like a pretty insane offensive team, like really underrated. So I like, obviously that's not his forte, but if the whole mandate of the team is like shoot the puck, like just having that as a plus as well. I really like Ben Sherratt.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to get into our top 3 quantity goalies. These are goalies that we think are going to get 2+ starts, barring injury, of course. So I'm just going to list all 3, and we're going to dive into it, and we'll see who your favorite is. We have Elvis Merzlikins of the Columbus Blue Jackets, Cam Talbot of the Detroit Red Wings, and UPL Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I know I mispronounced that for all you listeners from Finland. Exactly. That's
6K, baby.
That's the authentic pronunciation of the Buffalo Sabres. So they Talbot and UPL have 4 games. Only 1 back-to-back for each team. But I will say that my favorite here, because like it's not going to be Elvis, and I know why he's on this list, is because he has been playing. Like the starts have been kind of like all over the place there. You know, I don't think that he's going to take the starting job from Greaves, and I think there's a chance that Greaves gets 2 of the games. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think pretty much. So we're at the end of week 9 right now, and Columbus had 4 games. Elvis started the first 2, and then the last 2 are Saturday, Sunday back to back, and he's playing the first one on the back to back on the Saturday. So he's basically getting 3 games in a row. Now I used to
Yeah.
have Elvis on my roster, and then there was one week they were splitting 50-50 every week. It was one game Elvis, one game Jet. And then I held Elvis, and he got 0 games when they had 4 games. They played Jet every game, even on the back to back. Now it seems like, okay, so I dropped Elvis for Jet, and now Jet has got 0 games this week, and Elvis has got all the games. So it's one of those things that it feels hard to predict. Jet was in a little bit of a rough stretch where they lost, I think they lost like 6 games in overtime in a row, and they were just like choking leagues in the third period. It was honestly bad. But I don't expect Elvis to be the starter moving forward. Maybe he's getting a run of games because he's a little bit of a trade bait too. But I expect Jet to start the Sunday game, and then probably the Carolina game, and he's getting at least 2 of those games, I think. Yeah. So
that's a risk with Merzlikins there. They're also tough opponents. So he's kind of like easily number 3 for me there. And
but
then
he's gonna get the most shots. We'll say the most shots against. So he's the only one of these guys that are gonna average close to 30 saves. So if your league counts saves, it does give a little bit of a save blanket there. If you pick up Elvis.
Yeah. And then the next 2 over here, it's honestly interchangeable for me because I feel like they're both playing great opponents. So this is a really tough week for the quantity goalie starts, to be honest. I guess. Yeah.
I was gonna say, to me, like, it's UPL is the clear guy to pick up because first of all they start the week with a back-to-back Calgary Edmonton. Now Edmonton is obviously super scary, but Calgary not so scary. So I'm hoping he gets the Calgary game. You play him then. Somebody else plays the Edmonton game, and then they got Vancouver and Seattle. I'm not super intimidated by any of those teams, to be honest. Like, I feel like Buffalo could win those games. So you could realistically get 3 quality starts. Also, UPL, like, this is the guy that they drafted to be the goalie of the future on this team. Like, and then he kind of got hurt, wasn't playing well. He basically also said like he's not really happy if he's not playing because he wants to make I think it's Team Sweden. Like, he wants to be the goalie that goes to the Olympics. One of the goalies that goes to the Olympics. Finland. Sorry. And
you just pronounced his name.
My bad, UPL. But so he's basically saying like, listen, if I'm not playing, like, I want to go somewhere where I'm going to play because I want to be in that Olympics team. So I think they have incentive to actually play him most of these games. He's also supposed to be the best goalie on this team right now. So I think the cards are there that he's going to be the guy, whether they want to trade him or not, and that's why they give him the games. But I think he's the best pickup this week for quantity.
I do agree. It's just both goalies, it's a road trip. All 4 games are away for both. So that's a caveat to say that it's like not that easy, but I agree if you're in a pinch, not even in a pinch.
Goalies are harder.
It's not a bad pickup. Yeah, it's not a bad pickup. There's a chance that he gets 3 of the games, and I would say less likely that Talbot gets the 3. So UPL is the choice for us here. Then top 3 quality goalie starts. Okay, this is a fun one. Brandon Bussey, Jake Allen, Jonas Johansson. Or Johansson.
We can't go one game without not mentioning Brandon Bussey, it feels like.
We can't.
By one game, I meant one episode.
Yeah, seriously. So Brandon Bussey is okay. I think that he should be the best guy on this list, but it's super up in the air because he may play 3 games, he may play 1 game, or he may play 0.
Yeah,
right?
It's very ambiguous.
Super ambiguous. If he plays a game, like, the idea for the top 3 quality goalies is that he gets 1 good matchup, and I think that he's the best choice here because they have a back-to-back with Philly, so they could beat Philly twice.
Yeah, they play Philly both games on the back-to-back.
Exactly, but like, he also just may not play. So it's really scary. Easily the most polarizing there. And then, Vasilevsky's been dealing with some injury issues. So if Johansson does actually get, 2 of their 4 games next week for Tampa Bay, even though they're all away games, Tampa's just so good. I mean, the back-to-back is Toronto, Montreal. Tampa could win either. And then the Devils they could win they could beat any team basically. So he's the safest bet.
Yep. I think just to talk on, Jake Allen, New Jersey has a back-to-back with Anaheim and Vancouver. It feels like two beatable teams. I'd rather he play Vancouver because that's more of a bleep show right now. But Jonas Johansson, as we speak right now, Vasilevsky is not playing the Saturday game in week 9. So he's missed 2 games in a row. We are told that it's not long-term, but maybe as you listen to this episode, maybe you have more recent knowledge. So monitor that situation. Obviously, if he's missing any sort of time, I'm prioritizing Jonas Johansson. But you won't be able to listen to this podcast before having that information already. So it'll probably be a timely situation. But nonetheless, he's going to get one of the games on the back-to-back, Toronto-Montreal. I think both are valuable games. And I think Brandon Bussi, though, just a caveat, because we have to talk about Kochetkov, like low-key, a little hot topic here, but the trainers basically cleared him to play. They were like, this guy's had enough time off, like he's ready to play, and he's basically said like he does not feel ready to play. So first of all, I think that's not a good look for him in terms of the team. Like they got guys like Anderson and Bussi going to battle like every week trying to play while he's out, and the trainers have cleared him to play, and he's like, no, I'm not ready. So I feel like the coaching staff is more going to prioritize the guys that are actually playing right now, and I think this just gives an opportunity to Bussi to like cement his spot and play more. Like, why would they go back to Kochetkov after you left him high and dry after being cleared? Obviously, there's a lot more context and information that we don't have, but I just think like the sentiment overall, like the guys in the locker room that are fighting for you on a nightly basis are the guys that you want to like gather behind. And Bussi's been really good when he's playing. So I feel like out of all the guys, he has the most upside. But if Kochetkov comes back in week 10 and he's going to be playing if he's back, that's when you probably have to monitor the situation. And a 3-goalie rotation when they have 4 games in a week is not a good situation. So that's why Bussi's number 3 and not higher.
Yeah, like there's no good, like if Kochetkov actually doesn't feel right and the trainers have cleared him to play, that means that it's a very weird injury and that could be really bad. Or if he actually just like Kevin said, if he's just leaving the Hurricanes high and dry, I mean,
JK wants that to happen because he has Bussi on his fantasy team, but
no, but like I've said all year that I think Kochetkov is actually a really good goalie. Like
it's
honestly,
true.
He is. I think,
and I've been the one to push back on that.
Yeah, like
I just don't think it's that special.
I just think the Hurricanes are great. Anderson is way past his prime and also injury prone. So you have a few outs having Bussi on your team, but realistically, if healthy and normally playing, Kochetkov is, I think, the best guy to own. We'll see how it shakes out. It's a 3-headed monster. That's bad, but if he does get that game, Bussi next week, I expect him to win.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you to everybody for listening to our Week 10 waivers episode. Follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and rate this 5 stars if you enjoyed the show. Also, subscribe on YouTube and similarly, give this video a like if you enjoyed the show, or even if you didn't, but mainly like it if you did.
Yes, I would like it. If I was listening to it, which I will after we record this, I will be liking it.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
The link to all of our socials is in the podcast description. Be sure to join the Discord community.
Mm-hmm.
What a place. What a
place.
It's
growing. Like you want to be in
for
now.
Fantasy hockey. What?
I was going to say, first of all, it is like Disneyland for fantasy hockey. Thank you, Jakey. But also, the community is growing, so you want to get in now before it's too late. Actually, it's never too late, but get in now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is never too late. However, there's honestly, the more the merrier, because a lot of people have joined recently, so thank you to everyone who's been a part of the Discord all year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really it enhances the enjoyment of playing fantasy hockey to know that there's a community of people out there who you could talk to about waiver questions or start sit decisions. We give all the best advice that we can there, and in addition to the podcast, it's like a really nice way to supplement
Guys,
what we say here.
I'm in there like 24/7, and it feels like I'm answering questions from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, and I'm thrilled about it. Like this just brings me joy, and helping you guys craft up trades for your friends, and it's a good time.
Yes, well put. Okay, you want to take it away? Are you Ernie today?
My throat is gone, so you can take it away.
Okay. Ba-da-ba-bam-bam, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo! For Josh.
Ha ha.